Good morning, traders. This is Michael James with Uncharted Profits Daily. Got another great trade setup for you this morning, this time on Morgan Stanley, symbol MS, which took out its minor bearish trend yesterday when it closed above this trend line here in yellow. You can see that it did that back on Monday and then again on Tuesday yesterday, rising above the 3-day moving average, this red line running up and down the chart right here. Well, before we get into the specifics of this trade, I do want to show you something that's going on with the SPY that happened yesterday following the big rally. Okay, so here we have the SPY, which closed significantly higher yesterday, major gain of 1.1%. In doing so, took out its minor bearish trend, which you can find much like with our other trades, starting at the most recent high, drawing a trend line down, connecting the highs as best you can, drawing the line as steep as possible. As you can see, the SPY certainly closed above that trend line yesterday. However, it did do something similar back on June 20th when it closed below its bullish trend line, which you can find by tracing the standout lows, connecting them, drawing the line as steep as possible. Sure enough, it did that here June 20th and then raced beneath this low after rebounding off the upper Keltner channel. The last time the SPY did that was all the way back here. I featured this before, but I want to go over it again. Back here in February, ran into the upper Keltner channel, closed below its bullish trend. It did that right here back on the February 9th, 2023, rebounded, but then ultimately headed lower when it took out these lows through here. Dead cat bounce before it eventually fell again. And so what we have here now, more recently, as of yesterday, is very similar. We've got contact with the upper Keltner channel, a close below the recent trend, the bullish trend, and then a little bump higher here after this initial dip lower. We had that back here, right around here on February 13th. After that dip below, it ran back above before capitulating and going lower still. It's not to say we'll see the same thing happen, but really just to say that anything's possible here. We could have a rally. We might not right now, even though we did have a bullish session yesterday. Momentum still favors bears until we see a rise above yesterday's high. A significant move above yesterday's high, likely above the 10-day moving average as well, which will be, it's right in line with yesterday's high, so that's perfect. So we'd like to see a move above that to confirm we're seeing a bullish continuation. And that would be supported by a very low stochastic indicator reading at the bottom of the chart here, reading of 15.87, telling us that the SPY remains oversold despite yesterday's big gain. One last thing before we look at Morgan Stanley here, I do want to remind you that the methodology we're using to look at this stock is the same methodology I use when making my Uncharted Profits Daily selections that I send out every evening after the market closes and every day that trading is open, with specific entry prices on the chart for each trade setup. If you would like to receive those alerts with those trades, with those entry prices, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. You'll be taken to this website here. Click this button on the right-hand side of the page, hand-delivered free daily trade alerts. Fill out this information, click Get Free Alerts Now, and the next time I send an alert out, you'll receive it directly in your inbox with that specific entry price listed for the trade right there on the chart for a method that has done fantastic, more than tripled our account for our members over the last year and a half. Okay, so back to Morgan Stanley here. We had that close above the trend line Monday, then another close higher above the 3-day moving average yesterday, and a stochastic indicator reading at the bottom of the chart of only 17.97, telling us this stock remains very oversold, much like the SPY in the short term. More moderate term, the SPY is probably not oversold. It could have farther to go. And we looked at that Keltner channel contact to kind of take a peek at that. But for a stock like Morgan Stanley, it's kind of been in the dumps recently. The banking crisis never really recovered from that banking crisis dip. It's now attempting to stage a short-term rally should it rise much higher here. In addition to taking out this trend line and having a low stochastic indicator reading, which we love to see on bull setups, we like to see readings below 60 for bullish setups. We also have the setting of a very clear higher low, this green line here, relative to the low back here from May 24th. This is a continuation trade in a way, in that Morgan Stanley did rally pretty strongly at the low here to the peak up here of about 11%. It's a good move for Morgan Stanley, especially at bank stock. Bank stocks tend to not move all that much. However, what really damaged the odds of a continuation are this recent sell-off here of about 8%. not good. So in some ways, it's a continuation trade. In other ways, it's kind of a trend reversal because we had such a big move lower. But that setting of a higher low back on the 23rd is huge for bulls. In addition to this trend-breaking close from Monday, another good day Tuesday, yesterday, and a low stochastic indicator reading. Those are all great reasons why you may want to consider a bullish trade on this stock should it rise above today's high, take out the 20-day moving average, signaling that a moderate-term uptrend is about to begin. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed looking at that setup. I want to remind you one last time, if you want to receive alerts just like this one on Morgan Stanley right here, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. You'll be taken to this page. Click the button, hand-delivered free daily trade alerts. Fill out this information. Click Get Free Alerts now. The next time I send out an alert, it'll come straight to you in your email inbox with my number one alert of the day with that specific entry price listed right on the chart for a method that like I said, has done fantastic, more than tripled our account trading options over the last year and a half. All right, this has been Michael James with Uncharted Profits Daily. Wishing you good trading. I will see you next time.